Hello everybody, it's the Game Judge here, and we just received some massive news about Dragon Age, and I want to talk about the details of that news. And the first thing I want to talk about is the official name change of Dragon Age Dreadwolf. They are doing away with Dragon Age Dreadwolf, and the new name is going to be Dragon Age The Veilguard. And this is according to the official Dragon Age Twitter page. And as you can see here, exciting news, Dragon Age fans, Dragon Age The Veilguard. Now you might be asking yourself, why did they change the name? And they actually gave us some reasons for that. And this is according to the official Bioware blog post. And it says here, so to capture what this game is all about, we changed the name as the original title didn't show how strongly you feel about our new heroes, their stories, and how you need to bring them together to save all of Thetis. Now, personally, I'm fine with the name change. I mean, I thought Dragon Age Dreadwolf sounds like a catchier name compared to the Veilguard, but I'm not too upset about this. That's fine if they think that this goes along better with what the game's actually about. And you might be asking yourself, what is the Veilguard? What does Veilguard mean? Well, in the lore, the veil is the barrier between the physical world and the Fade, which we all know is Dragon Age Spirit Realm. So that kind of gives us an idea of what that name really means and how it pertains to the plot and Solus and things that are going on in the game. So that's kind of everything about the name there. And the next thing I want to talk about is that on that same official Twitter post, they said that the reveal is going to be on June 11th for the first official game reveal. And this is interesting because in my last video, I have to correct myself. I said that I thought that the summer reveal for Dragon Age was going to be at the Summer Game Fest. But if you check Summer Game Fest site, there is no event for June 11th. And if you scroll down on the Bioware blog post, you can see here it says, we'll see you on Tuesday, June 11th at the Dragon Age YouTube channel with over 15 minutes of gameplay from the opening moments of the game that has you jumping back into Thetis on your new adventure. So now we know that this reveal is going to be Tuesday, June 11th. It's going to be on the official Dragon Age YouTube channel. And what I thought was interesting here too is that it's going to be 15 minutes. 15 minutes is a good amount of time for a game reveal. And hopefully this isn't just a lot of trailers and things like that. Like, I want to know more about the game. And thankfully they did give us some more details in the blog about Dragon Age. And some of those details I want to talk about here is, if you scroll down the Bioware official blog post, it says here, as fans of our franchise know, every Dragon Age game has delivered a new standalone story. Set in the world of Thetis, these tales explore epic locales and threats, also thrusting you to a new conflict. Each game also introduces a new lead hero, the Warden, which we know from Dragon Age Origins, Hawk, which we know from Dragon Age 2, and Inquisitor from Dragon Age Inquisition. And it says here you can expect all that and more with the new game. And of course, much like your unique hero. So I'm okay with them kind of sticking to this concept where you kind of take on this role as a savior or protector of Thetis, whether that be the Warden, the Inquisitor, Hawk, whatever it may be. I just hope they don't go to a more linear story like they did with Dragon Age 2 and make it where you're set as one character and you can only really, I think, what was it? You could just be a human. So I hope they have a variety of different races, and I hope they don't lock you into one character with a name and you can't customize like your character's name and whatnot. Hopefully we learn more about that in the game reveal. And some other details I want to talk about here is in the blog post that they're talking about how they're working on different concepts in relation to this Dragon Age game. And it says here they brought everything to the table, which yes, even included a multiplayer concept. And I really hope that this doesn't mean that they're going to try to weasel in some live service stuff that we really don't want to see, but maybe they have to appease EA, because you know in Dragon Age Inquisition they had the multiplayer, which I thought was pretty terrible and unnecessary to be there. Dragon Age is known for being a single player story driven game, and I think that's really what they need to focus on. If EA wants to make their money, they need to let Bioware cook. They need to let Dragon Age be the single player story driven game, and they need to put all their attention and effort into that to be successful. We've seen this with other single player games. It can be done. And then the next big thing I want to highlight here is on this same blog post, it talks about here that there's going to be 7 unique characters that make up your companions, and will have deep and compelling storylines where decisions you make will impact your relationships with them as well as their lives. You'll unite this team of unforgettable heroes as you take on a terrifying new threat unleashed on the world. I think that's great to hear about this. And 7 companions kind of falls in line with what they had before in the past Dragon Age games. I think they had around 10 companions in the first Dragon Age with the expansions, and I can't remember, maybe it was around 8 or something in Dragon Age 2, and I think it was kind of around the same area for Dragon Age Inquisition. So 7's not a bad number. I care kind of more about the quality of the companions, but I think it's great that they're talking about how decisions you make will impact your relationships with them. I think that's a very, very crucial part that they need to get right in Dragon Age The Veilguard, and they did a really good job in Dragon Age 1 with the companions. Dragon Age 2 I thought was lacking, and Dragon Age Inquisition I thought the companions was pretty solid, but nonetheless I think this is a part that they have to get down. Companions are so crucial to Dragon Age, and it's one of the biggest strengths of Dragon Age, and it's one of the things I love about Dragon Age, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the fans of Dragon Age feel the same way about this particular issue. I hope they get this right, and I hope as far as the decisions go in the game, not just with their companions, but I hope when you make decisions that they actually have an impact on the world, that they actually change things. And that was one of the big problems with Dragon Age Inquisition, was you kind of felt like a lot of decisions you make didn't really change much much, as opposed to Dragon Age Origins when you would make a decision, it really felt like it changed the world. So I really hope they get back to that with Dragon Age Veilguard, and that the decisions you make actually have an impact on the world. And it'll be interesting to see if they bring any companions back, or if there's going to be new companions. You know, is Iron Bull going to come back? Is Morrigan going to come back? Is Varric going to come back? Or are they going to start with some new characters? Personally, I would be okay if they brought back some of the old characters, but I also would like to see some new faces, maybe delving deeper into the lore and the setting of where this game's going to take place. But I'm excited for the companion part, and it's good to hear that they're going to have at least 7 unique companions, and it does seem like they're focusing on that aspect of the game, or they have been at least. And one other thing I want to highlight here is Solus is going to be one of the main protagonists in this story, and this is not surprising. We kind of already knew this. And if you guys want some more information about that, I'll link the IGN article below where they did an interview with Gary McKay, where they kind of talk a lot more about Solus and why they made some decisions they made for this game. And one part I'll highlight here is in this interview with Bioware General Manager Gary McKay from IGN, he explains Solus is still very much a part of the story of Dragon Age The Veilguard. The team wanted a title that reflected a really deep and compelling group of companions. Now, it's talking about the title again, but I think it's also saying that Solus is going to be, you know, an important part of the story. And that's kind of been on a lot of their marketing stuff for Dragon Age The Veilguard. So I'm not surprised that he's a big part of the story and that they're still rolling with that. Personally, I think that this game really needs to succeed. I don't think they can afford a flop here. They had Mass Effect Andromeda, they had Anthem, and it's scary to think what's going to happen if this game flops. What's going to happen if it doesn't do well? What does that mean for Bioware? Is EA going to close down the studio? What's going to happen to the Dragon Age IP? I mean, I think this moment is do or die, so I think this reveal on Tuesday is kind of a big deal. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of all this news and the 15-minute reveal that we're going to have. Are you excited about it, or have you given up hope on Bioware and think that this game is going to be a flop? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope to see you all on the next one.